that I think one of the good things that happened with COVID is there's less stigma.
I was just going to say that stigma is gone around mental health. I mean, I think there's still some.
There's still some.
But rewind 10 years ago and it's totally different. It is okay to seek help.
Right. And that's very helpful. And one of the things that I've always tried to do is to express that just because you want to talk to someone about problems or situations or thoughts you're having doesn't mean there's something necessarily wrong with you. Just because you're prescribed an antidepressant or an anti-anxiety medication doesn't mean you have to take it forever.
Welcome to the Dispatch on Purpose. My name is Amy Dahl and I am your host, and I am so excited to have you tune in today. We are on location at Panacea Behavioral Health and Wellness with its owner, Dr. Sandra Nichols.
Hello.
And Sandra is a nurse practitioner.
Correct.
And the owner of this business.
Yes.
And a friend of mine.
Yes.
So thank you.
Thank you
for joining us. So we thought about this podcast for quite some time.
We have.
Because we have entertained a million different topics that you and I could talk about.
Yes, we have.
Business ownership and growing a business and how to grow a business with a family and all the pros and cons of owning a business and employing people, and but also lately just conversations about mental health. And
Right.
You are thriving, which is a reflection of our society right now, is how many people are struggling right now for so many various reasons.
They are.
So your business thriving is not necessarily
It's not necessarily a good thing.
Yes. So we'll probably go down a couple different avenues today, but I'm really excited for this one.
Well, thank you.
I've been looking forward to this. So tell us a little bit about yourself, just who you are and how you got started.
Sure. So I got started in, I'm from outside Tallahassee, Florida, and I was initially a college writing professor, and then had 3 children and went back to nursing school, and then I taught nurses for a while in RN school, and then I went back to get my nurse practitioner certificate. Along the way, married my husband, who was from the same town that I'm from in North Florida. He served in the Navy for 40 years, and he was, I think, 27, 28 years in at that point, and traveled with him and his career, and worked emergency medicine as a nurse practitioner for about 15 years in lots of different places, and knew we wanted to settle here. We wanted to make Hampton Roads, Virginia our home, and that's when I opened Panacea. The name comes, Panacea is a cure for everything that ails you. The Greek goddess Panacea had the universal cure, and the Nichols family is from Panacea, Florida, and I wanted something nautical.
Yeah.
And Panacea, Florida is right on the coast. Everything else was taken. Here, I mean, try to find something nautical in this area that's not taken.
Right.
And one day I said, Panacea, that's it. And everybody said, oh, that's a great idea, because one of my areas of focus is mind-body medicine. And it works well because I'm a family, gerontology, emergency, and psychiatric nurse practitioner. So I've been able to see through my career.
You've done it all, by the way.
How the mind affects the body and vice versa. So it's been a nice landing, I guess. Todd's retired now, and this is where we are. So, and the practice has expanded exponentially from just me 4.5 years ago to we have about 35 employees now.
Yeah. And fun fact that we discovered when I pulled up today.
Yes.
It was probably 10 years ago, but Remax Alliance was in this building.
I knew it was a realty group.
Yeah.
How funny is that?
I know, it was meant to be.
It was
Very
meant
cool.
to be.
So now you have how many practitioners here? You said?
We have, so that's kind of an interesting story. We have nurse practitioners, we have licensed professional counselors, we have licensed clinical social workers, we have one psychologist who has a doctorate of psychology, we have an acupuncturist and another who's about to join us. We offer different types of therapy. We have someone who does neurofeedback. He's a licensed marriage and family therapist, but was a Navy chaplain for a while.
Oh, interesting.
We're very military friendly and military centric. A lot of our employees are either spouses, former active duty, raised in a military home, and being here in Virginia Beach, right outside of a couple of bases, it helps a lot. And I think all of us here have a passion for helping people who've served our country.
Yeah.
So that's very nice. What we're doing with the providers that we have, the practitioners, I was a program director for a couple of nurse practitioner programs, and I know that there's some dissension amongst the nurse practitioner community because increased access to education has led to a reduction in rigor.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like it was when I went to school 20 years ago. Now I feel very old saying that, but it's true. It is true. And instead of being in academia now, which I do still teach adjunct a little bit, but instead of being a full-time professor, I am working with providers here as precepting as students. And then when they graduate, they can come on and do a residency, which we have for nurse practitioners, which is very much like the VA residency. Mm-hmm. And then once they finish their first year, where they see patients, but they also get didactic teaching from me and others, and they also learn how hands-on they have someone they can call. When they're in an appointment and they are like, what do I do? I've not seen this before. I want someone else to step in and help. They have that support. And then the next year they'll have coaching, but much more independence. And then the third year it's modeled that they will start mentoring students. So it's a way to safely grow our profession, because the folks that we have had start the residency have all been shocked, or at least expressed shock at how different it is from doing student clinicals to being the provider in the
real world. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can imagine that. It's kind of like going through flight school and then being handed the stick of an airplane and being told, yeah, you're going. Let's go.
Wow.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
When you're the only one.
Right. It's very much that way. And right now, to be a nurse practitioner, most of the programs are all online, so you don't have to go for any face-to-face. And
I actually had another nurse tell me that too, that everything's online, that you miss out on that practical aspect of.
You do.
Learning.
And you do between 500 and 700 hours of clinical.
Wow.
That is loosely observed. I mean, it could be you just sit in a chair and watch a psychiatrist for that amount of time. I've talked to nurse practitioners in their first job who have never independently done a patient evaluation. Wow. And in 29 states, they could practice with no supervision. That's scary.
Yeah.
So we don't do that here.
So you're really busy here, because you're not only seeing patients. I mean, you're an operational, behavioral health and wellness center, so you're seeing patients and doing counseling and therapy in so many different fields, but you're also training, future individuals in your profession, so that they can go out and do the same thing.
Because to me, that's what I can do to contribute.
Yeah, to give back.
Right. It didn't work being in academia because there's so many rules and there's such a push to have people graduate. And you hear, well, we need so many providers. Yes, we need so many good providers. We don't necessarily need providers that are ill-equipped.
Yeah. And you guys are busy right now.
We are. And again, that's not a great thing about, well, there's good and bad. The good is that I think one of the good things that happened with COVID is there's less stigma.
I was just going to say that. Stigma is gone around mental health. I mean, I think there's still some.
There's still some.
But rewind 10 years ago and it's totally different. It is different. Okay to seek help.
Right. And that's very helpful. And one of the things that I've always tried to do is to express that just because you want to talk to someone about problems or situations or thoughts you're having doesn't mean there's something necessarily wrong with you. Just because you're prescribed an antidepressant or an anti-anxiety medication doesn't mean you have to take it forever.
Yeah.
We want to work with people to, our motto is change your health, change your life, and learn new ways to approach issues, learn new ways to look at conditions and things in your life and relationships and what works for you and what doesn't. So that's sort of what we try to do here. It's a lot more of education and coaching.
Changing their perspective.
Right.
Same issues, different perspective, which changes it all together.
Right. A lot of times we think when we're in an interaction with someone else, I know what they're thinking. Well, not necessarily. And if you don't take the time to stop and ask, which they might not be thinking what you think at all.
Yeah.
But if you act on that presumption that you have, things can go sideways in a hurry.
Yeah. And you probably, it's so close to the Navy. I mean, see a lot of military, a lot of people, veterans that are struggling that have gotten out. And now that stigma, it makes me happy to see that stigma is starting to go away. But gosh darn it, I'll speak from a veteran community. Veterans are hard-headed. For the longest time, we think that if we talk to somebody, something must be wrong with me.
Something must be wrong with me. And because of HIPAA laws, it's hard. I can't say, well, you're the sixth person I've seen today.
With the same exact.
Right. I mean, I can't do that. And to me, that's the beauty of a group therapy session, because you have people self-disclosing.
Yeah. Now, do you guys do that as well?
We do. And one of the things I'm proud of is I've started doing a group for veterans at Union Mission, the homeless shelter. And I do that
down in Norfolk?
I do that every Tuesday afternoon, and that's funded through the Department of Veterans Services.
Nice.
So that is really helpful because it's an accepting environment where you can say what you're thinking and find out, wow, there's other people that are going through what I'm going through.
Yeah. And now for my listeners, because I'm naive to all of this, that are veterans, is mental health counseling and therapy something TRICARE will cover?
Yes, it is. And I believe...
And do they have to have a referral from a PCP?
My goodness, I hate to say this. I don't think you do.
Yep.
I know if you call
Not
here...
that it wouldn't help her.
I know if you call here, our phone people can tell you. I don't want to say, sure, it's no problem.
But if you call, your front desk would guide them anyway.
And it depends, there's different TRICARE Humana military products.
Yes.
Do you have Select? Do you have Prime? Do you have VA Community Cares? And we're in network with all of those. And we do work, like I said, we have some grant funding from the state. I mean, there's a lot of things that we can do to help folks.
And I don't think people realize that there are those grants out there.
They've become more popular. They've done a lot of funding for us over the last 4 years, and some programs have worked great, and some, like we had a group, an online group for people who have lost someone to suicide. And you didn't have to be a veteran to come. You could be active duty, you could be a veteran, or you could be related to. And our definition of related to is much different than DEERS. We're very loosey-goosey about that.
You're not going to require birth certificates.
Right. Well, and there's a lot of people that consider themselves related to in the same household that don't meet DEER's definition. And we didn't want those people excluded. To me, it was cast a wide net and catch the people that affected. So we had not one person come.
Wow.
And initially I thought, well, maybe we're not advertising it well. My goodness, we advertised. We had flyers, we had posters, we had social media. We were all over the place. And people would say, oh yeah, I'll come. That affected me. I lost my child. I lost my husband. I lost my wife. I lost,
Yeah. Wow.
There's, and I can't figure that out. I'm not quite sure what it was. But it's not for me to figure out. It was for me to say, well, we tried it. It didn't work. We're going to do something different.
Yeah, so some groups are more popular than others. Or more needed right now, maybe.
Right, maybe. One of the things that we're also doing that I like a lot is Virginia and a lot of other states have a specialty docket for veterans that are involved in the criminal justice system. And that's probably a lot more common than we know or think about. We've had a few therapists get
Meaning
trained.
they've been charged with something.
Yes. And
they're not attorneys. They're people that
right,
are charged with
correct.
things.
And if their charge is, if it's acceptable to the court to put them in the veterans docket, they can go through a counseling program and dot their I's and cross their T's and participate. If they check all the boxes, then I believe their record can be expunged where they go forward and don't have a criminal record.
Wow.
It's not for all charges.
Yeah,
It's not for every person, but it is a way to get veterans help. Yeah. Because a lot of times, I was talking to a group out of California just earlier, prior to you getting here. You go from such a strict environment in the military to no supervision whatsoever.
Yeah.
And it's not gradual. Mm-mm. It's like falling off a cliff.
Yeah.
And some people are prepared for that, and some people think they're prepared,
yeah.
and they're not.
Well, and there's so much that you deal with, and we've lived through generations of wartime years that we're seeing, and then you come home and you get to act like none of it ever happened, and you put on the mom or dad role and keep on going. And it's sad that they're expected to compartmentalize. We as veterans are expected to compartmentalize so much. And so I'm glad there's resources out there and people are talking about, hey, there are ways to get help and it won't affect your career, even if you're still active duty.
Right.
But you can get that help. I think when you're active duty, there still are some stigmas. There are people that are afraid to talk because they don't want it to affect.
And I've had a couple of people I've worked with that have had problems for seeking help, but they also had me who completely went to bat for them and said, I'll go talk to your board.
Yeah.
I'll write a letter to support you with your board. That's, so I think having that backup, that endorsement was helpful. No one in the long run had a negative impact for seeking help.
Yeah.
A couple of them had a battle.
Right.
But they eventually were shown to be in the right.
So now what led you to open your own practice? You planted roots here.
Well, we liked the area. We liked seasons. We're both from North Florida, and we didn't want to go back to the heat. Yeah. So we wanted to stay. And I had not worked in an outpatient setting before. I'd always been acute care because everywhere we moved, there was a hospital.
Yeah.
And
so it's just the life of a Navy spouse.
Correct.
Pick up and reinvent yourself in every place.
So I wanted to be in an outpatient setting, and the reason that I did that was because, or opened the practice was I was working somewhere else. I mean, the truth of the matter is I was working somewhere else, and I didn't feel like I was being paid fairly. And I said, well, I can do that. And I was just going to do it one day a week because I was teaching full time. And then I had a couple of therapists say, well, can we come work with you? Because we don't think we're getting paid fairly either. And growth is always good, right? Yeah. So I said, sure, come on. Then I had to hire admin people to help because now there were 3 of us. And then I had to hire more providers because I had to have revenue to pay the admin. And then I had to hire more admin because I had more providers.
This is how business growth works.
Exactly. And
organically.
And it just ended up, and then we needed more space. And then it just...
Yeah. Right. And now you're getting ready to open a second location.
We are. We're looking at going over like Chesapeake, Suffolk area because we have a lot of patients and providers that live in that direction.
Yep.
This is a long way to come.
Yeah.
And we want to be in another area where, there's a space across the road we could go to, but there's another area where we could see more people.
Yeah, it'd be more accessible for them. Have you identified a location yet?
We're working on it. We're hopeful.
That is so hard.
It is
as a
so
business
hard.
owner. Yes.
Well, and you have to commit. And I didn't know this about commercial real estate. It's much different than residential.
Totally different.
You don't sign a 1-year lease. You sign a 5 or 10-year lease. So
and
you
then
better
you
be sure.
put your money into that remodel.
Right, and you have to remodel it yourself, even though you're leasing it.
Yeah.
It's almost worse than buying a house.
I think it's harder in some regards, yeah. And finding a suitable space. And the charges are different. It's just different. It's totally different.
It's totally different, and it is like You know, a lot of people buy homes and don't stay there 10 years.
Yeah, I mean, as
They
Navy,
still
we
move.
stay in an average place 3 years,
Right.
but you're not going to get a 3-year good commercial lease. Not
No.
good terms anyway.
No, not good terms, because they want the assurance, the landlord wants the assurance that you're gonna be there.
Yeah.
And it's a lot. So, and not necessarily just a lot of money, but it's a lot of investment, it's a lot of time, it's a lot of making sure it's the right place.
Yep.
It's a lot. So we're looking,
Yeah.
we're looking. I just wanna make sure it's not something I regret. I
Yeah.
love where we are right now.
Yeah.
It's very peaceful. We're
It
on
is, you're
Shore
surrounded by
Drive.
trees.
Everybody, we get free advertising by people that just drive by. We have the water behind
It's
us.
like a nature reserve behind
It's,
you guys.
it's lovely.
It's a beautiful location.
It's very peaceful, and we do yoga out here on the deck when the weather's nice.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys have a yoga class back there?
We do.
Oh, that's awesome.
So it's Krista that was in here before,
Yeah.
Navy spouse. She's a certified yoga instructor. We have another one, Amy, who we do courses now over at near Lynn Haven Mall, but we can do them outside, and love that. And so I want someplace where when people are driving by, they see
Yeah.
us. I don't want to be hidden away.
Mm.
And you get that with a lot of office
You do.
space.
Oh, yeah. It's strip malls and where you're tucked away or on the backside.
Mhm.
Finding road frontage like this is rare. It's a hard
Right.
commodity to find. And
Right.
easy access and plenty of parking.
And that's one of the things I didn't know when I started. When I started, we were upstairs. You entered on the back side of the building. Parking was horrible. And I didn't think about all of that because I had not been a business owner before.
Yeah.
I don't have an MBA. I hadn't gone to school for that. I have now. I don't have an MBA, but you know,
Yeah.
I've been schooled.
Even School of Hard Knocks,
right.
owning a business.
Right. And I had run my ex-husband's law office when we were married it was a long time ago, 30 years ago. So I knew some, but
Yeah.
things have
So
changed.
what do you think the hardest thing about owning a business is?
Ooh. Hardest thing.
And then we're going to jump back to mental health. Because I could talk to you about all kinds of stuff.
The hardest thing about, oh gosh, there's a lot. And
I know you and I have deep conversations about balancing, practicing what you're good at. For you, it's the mental health counseling. For me,
Mhm.
it's selling real estate. And
both
yet,
about connections though.
about connections and connecting to people
Mhm.
and balancing. When you start running a business, you got to balance the logistics of it. You know, the pay, the hiring, the recruiting, all the things. And yes, you can hire people to do that, but ultimately you're responsible for that business. And it's like anything, when you get too good at it and you get pulled up into a position of leadership or authority or ownership in this case, you sometimes miss being back to the roots of what you
Yes.
like doing.
Right?
And you and I both express sometimes we miss
Sure.
being back in the roots, the selling, and I still sell and you still counsel.
And
And I love both. We both love what we do.
also missing your family. If the phone rings, you have to answer it.
Yes.
You know, having to consider when you're going to go out of town, where you're going to go on vacation. Are you being present?
Mhm.
Right? I spent a lot of time, my dad and mom had businesses growing up, my dad primarily, and I talked to him every day, and I said him, and a couple years ago I said, I gotta tell you, I don't know how Jeff Bezos does it, because I'm struggling. And I look at what he's doing, and I'm just thinking, what in the world? I mean, what am I missing?
Yeah.
Because he started in a garage.
Yeah.
Right? He was peddling books with his wife out of a garage in Seattle and driving an Accord. What am I missing?
Yeah.
And he said, well, he has a lot of help.
That's it. I think that's the key to anything in life.
But
Surrounding
but
yourself
again,
with good
the
help.
right
Good.
the right help. And how do you find the right help? How do you know that the people that you're looking to partner with are the right people? Because I have yet to have anyone come in here and say, I'm not right. Please bring me in to destroy your organization. Nobody says that.
Or I'm going to be right for a year or two, and then I'm going to go off the rails.
Right. And nobody says that,
Yeah.
right? But then you have people that are unscrupulous, and you have people that do things, and it may not be them, but it might be them in that circumstance and that time in their life.
All those risks you carry and liabilities as a business owner is finding, I think that is probably the hardest part about owning a business, is surrounding yourself with people that have the same morals, ethics, and ability that you have, or that you need for that position.
Right. That's hard.
It is very hard.
Because I'm not a micromanager, and I don't want to track people down and
Yeah.
But at times you have to have your finger on whatever is going on, which is circle back to how I got to the Jeff Bezos conversation. I said, how does he do it? I mean, he's got packages zooming all over the world. How does he do it? Help me understand.
Yeah.
I still don't have a good answer to that question.
I don't either.
Maybe he'll write to me and tell me how he does it, because I don't know.
I don't know.
I struggle with, and I've had a lot of people tell me opening a second location is tough.
Yeah.
That you're going to get a whole new generation of problems that you didn't have.
Yeah, because you're divided between two locations.
Right.
Yeah, and it's hard to handle both.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And I think it's going to be finding that great manager out there where I believe in coaching in so many aspects of my life. And my coach told me one time, my real estate coach, is that I should be able to create this business where if I step away, it runs without me, and it should run seamlessly. He's like, you should work yourself out of a job, meaning train people so well that they can do without you. But that is hard. That is really hard.
Oh, it's hard.
Yeah. And for me, letting go of the reins is hard too, because you work so hard, and you have not had an easy path to get to this point. You've ridden the ups and downs.
Right. And I would love to work myself out of a job. But yeah, it's I see that happening eventually, but it's for right now, we're not there.
Yeah.
But I am surrounded by great people now.
Well, and
that's
you're doing
helpful.
great things too. I mean, you've got to feel good about the amount of people that you're able to help.
We do.
Yeah.
And I think on the bad days, that's what I think about. I'm like, look at what we did today.
Yeah.
And if we can save one life, my goodness.
Yeah.
How can you not keep going?
What do you think's causing? That's the right question. I feel like people are struggling more nowadays. Not just our veterans. We talked a lot about veterans, but I think people are struggling more these days. Why do you think that is?
Oh boy.
Without getting political. We are an
boy.
apolitical podcast.
Oh boy.
In general, because we talked about veterans, but there are other people out there that are struggling now too. I mean, there's a reason that you're busy
There is.
and well employed.
There is.
Is it the increase in social media?
I think that doesn't help.
Yeah. That everything's available out there and not always accurate.
Right. And I also think the world is much bigger for people who are much younger, and they don't have the brain development
Yeah.
to use discretion. Parents aren't always in the best place to provide the guidance, and it's not
Well, the cost of living is so high that usually you're in dual income.
right.
Both parents have to work, or
Right.
you're
I
in
mean, there's
single
so
income.
many. There's so many. There's so many things I don't know how to sum it all up. But and good parenting is hard. I used to tell my children it's much easier as a parent to let you run the streets.
Mhm.
It's hard to be a good parent because day after day after day, whether I'm tired, whether I'm frustrated, whether I'm sad, whether I'm sick, whether I'm feeling great, I have to be consistent.
Yeah.
And kids will try you. I tried my parents. I mean, that's their job.
Mhm.
And that brings us to another point of I think human beings like boundaries.
Yes.
Boundaries make us feel safe.
Yeah.
We would much prefer to have our back against a wall than we would be out in the middle of nowhere with nothing around us, because then we can only see 180 of our 360. Well, maybe a little more, but you know what I mean. And I think pushing against boundaries is a natural thing for humans to do.
Yes. Children and adults.
We get safety when we push against something and we're met.
Or it pushes back or gives us the
Right.
resistance. Tells
Right.
us what our boundary is.
Right. And we don't have that anymore.
Yeah.
That's gone.
And we're really seeing it in the increase in children's mental health
Right.
cases.
Right.
Exorbitantly.
And so now we're entering into the generation that was raised by technology having children.
Yeah.
So they may or may not have a role model.
Who's ever had boundaries.
Right. I mean, I know I had real firm boundaries at home and I pushed them. They were firm.
I'm the daughter of a master chief.
So, you know,
Yeah.
But when you think about, when you compare my grandparents' life to my parents' life, to mine, to my children, and now what may be with my children's children, it's almost alarming how much change has occurred in that small amount of time, that 100 years or so, 150 years or so. If you look at the rest of time before that.
Yeah.
Things didn't change that much.
Yeah.
You know,
the technology and everything, access.
I mean, when I was growing up, it was $1.18 to call the next county a minute. We didn't call them.
Yeah.
There was nothing going on over there that I needed
Yeah.
to know about.
Mm-hmm.
Your friends were where you were.
Yeah.
And now.
And you had to go outside to see them.
Right. And now they get online and on gaming systems, and then they're talking to people. Maybe people, maybe not people, maybe bots. We don't know. I mean, it's just almost too much to wrap your head around.
Yeah, it's scary, isn't it? And it's sad because you're going to be duly employed for a long time.
Yeah, I don't see it getting much better.
Yeah.
It's especially disturbing to see the stories about the children who were talking to AI, and AI told them you should go yourself.
Yeah. Well, that's a whole nother level in the last couple of years
Mm-hmm.
of things that we're dealing with. You know, like you said, they may be talking. You know, we were scared that our kids were dealing with. You know, I had their game systems locked down so they can't communicate with anybody in the outside world. But some of these kids aren't talking to people either.
That's right.
Yeah.
And that's
They're talking
what's
to
so scary,
computers.
right?
Yeah.
And you don't know what they're saying to them. You don't
Yeah.
know where they are.
Yep.
And then they just disappear, and it's right.
Yeah.
It's very scary, and I think it all boils down to boundaries.
Yeah. What carries you through the day? You know, you
Diet Coke, pretty much all day. Diet Coke.
You know, at the end of the day, you get to help people, but you get to see people in some of their greatest needs too, and coach them through it. How do you do it? What brings you through?
My faith. It's not me in those moments.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really a lot of times divine intervention. I mean, I have the knowledge, but God gave me the intellect to learn the knowledge.
Yeah.
And I started a long time ago in the ER when I started to feel myself getting kind of, you know.
Like you were carrying the weight of the world.
I said,
Yeah.
I would pray before I would go in, God, let me see these people that I'm going to encounter today like you see them.
It's a great prayer. Let
And
me see
boy,
them
that will
the way
change your
you-
perspective.
You see them. Next time I get mad at my kids, I'm gonna say, Lord, help me to see them the way you see them. It's a really, really good prayer.
Yeah.
Not help me not to be angry or help give me patience, but help me see my children the way you see them.
that wraps it up.
Yeah.
And man, it's helped me diagnose when I didn't know what I was looking at. It's helped me reach people and say the right thing when I had no words. Yeah, it's
That's really good. All right. So on that note, if people want to find you, how do they find you?
well, we have a website, Panacea, BHWC, Bravo Hotel Whiskey Charlie.com.
For all our Navy folks.
Right. And we're here in Virginia Beach on Shore Drive. And our phone number is 757-251-0879.
Nice.
Our fax number is 984-220-0937.
You know you're showing your age with this fax machine.
Actually, we don't. We have a fax number.
Email now.
And it faxes PDFs to an account.
Yes, we have one too,
We do
which
not
is
have
about
a fax
privacy
machine.
too.
Right. We don't have a fax
Yeah.
machine.
I love it.
But in medicine, you have to because a
Yeah.
lot of places will only fax things, which
Yeah.
is ridiculous.
In real estate, you have to have a fax email too. It's crazy, and because the younger generation will ask you what that
What
is,
is
and
that?
I'm like, well, just scan it from your phone.
Right.
It works.
Exactly. So this is where we are, and
Yeah, and you're here to help.
we are.
Yeah, I love it. Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you for joining us. All of Sandra's information will be on the online. You can find it on Spotify, on YouTube, and all the places that we're streaming. Thanks for joining us. We hope you enjoyed this show, and we'll see you next time.